Well, I haven't really told many people. I've been starting to write a book. The contents of it is a bit shocking at points. I've got ideas for how the characters will develop, but every time I mention it to my son, Matthew, he just says, "No, Dad, don't be doing that." I've shared a little bit of work with him because he likes to spit rhymes and do the rapping stuff. So I just want his opinion. Moving on, I'm going to ask everybody else's opinion instead. So this is my first chapter. It's not a complete chapter. All my chapters are all quite short, so obviously expand on them. So let's start this. I'll have a reading for you. So, chapter 1. It's hard to quantify existence, life, the meaning of it and such. There's so much going on in the universe to come to any clear understanding, any real understanding of it. Religion has a go at it by using faith, hope, and other mental contraptions and contradictions to skim over the important points of it all. Who could blame them? Everyone in every group on our little planet think they have the answer, or something pretty close to it, to allow existence to make any sense. We have religious rules, national and international laws, social understandings, and our own personal morality, which also helps in the skim of existence. Skimming is done quite well by people. We walk through life skimming over the parts we don't like or don't want to acknowledge. Sometimes skimming doesn't work after a traumatic experience because the experience is so unexpected and disturbing, the whole system of avoidance and the skim doesn't work well enough. Death of a loved one. A renewed love lost. Hellish provocation from a perceived enemy. Some people use narcotics to skim a little better, avoiding electrical signals in their brain by allowing the drugs to make temporary connections to gain their high. Professional skimmers, heroin addicts, cokeheads. When someone dies, we avoid the realities of it as much as possible. Avoid the fact that existence has let that person down by stopping them from being. In fact, it lets everyone else down because it forces the realization that existence is a bad motherfucker who will hurt you over time and stop your life in the end to hurt others. No wonder professional skimmers take the easy option. I didn't know my mother, my birth mother. I sometimes imagine I had no mother but was spewed from some dark corner of man's psyche. I imagine my father more than I see my mother. I can identify myself more with him rather than her. Not knowing that woman walking down the street towards me as my mother or some random breeder gives me no feeling or urge to find her. But when I see a man that looks the way I imagine my father to resemble myself, physically, emotionally, I become tense and feel a lump in my throat that is not really there and building up. Force me to swallow some dry saliva just to remove the feeling which makes me feel uncomfortable in my own skin. I find myself avoiding skimming myself, pretending it's nothing, but being unable to make the feeling less powerful. I'm unable to skim properly. Unfortunately, to be unable to blind myself from my fear that I'm just like my father. I see existence for what it is. The horror of that knowledge has given me power, and that frightens my physical self. It's intoxicating and vivid in my mind. In a world of people, I am a Superman. I am a quiet tornado aching to be released on the earth, to use my power in the land, the people, the soil. My skim is a quiet outer skin that breathes through the elasticity slowly, trying not to be noticed, hiding the brain thoughts through vacuous smiles and slow automatic gestures, my outer skin stretching but never breached. I am a gardener. There is a solace and calm in the soil. Gardening lets me gain some mental silence. I know that's why I do it. I like to change the soil, make it bend to my will and whim. I watch the grass follow the patterns I cut into it. See the flowers bloom where and when I want them to, and while reaping the soil and removing the weeds that try to invade my plan and wrest my intent. It's strange to have a green finger. the ability to nurture life and shape it when I lack many other abilities everyone else seems to come with when they're born and grow up. I don't have the connection with people that allows me to easily make a conversation without straining to maintain it. Something that almost everyone else is able to master, even at a very young age, has left me adrift. Inner power. In a world of consumerism and immediate gratification, I can't satisfy my needs because I can't identify what my needs are. The power within me wants things, but I've found it hard from the very beginning to identify what the power aches for. I've no desire to attach myself to the web and become a virtual entity wandering chat rooms, forums, and other disassociated venues where I am already disassociated and therefore find the medium even more distant than context than a physical conversation. When some people excel in becoming a larger-than-life character online, I simply cannot coordinate myself to even become one of the unseen followers of some other virtual identity or entity. It is as if the modern world has seen my feelings and went, fuck it, move on to the people who can articulate. Videos and memes and other such mass connections mean little to my personal being. How can a cat viral become more popular than a person? What does that mean for me now? Notes. Notes in my book are like tutorials, so notes on control. As individuals, we're all controlled. You may not all agree with this fact, but fact it is. The masses of human breathers are controlled in all major aspects of existence. Imagine your own situation and make notes on how many people, organisations, institutions and governments take part of your control. Add to these notes and identify when you willingly comply and why. Add again to these notes and identify when you're not a willing sheep but still comply. Why do you comply and not? Expand this control to social media. Decide how you're influenced. Why you are and also how you are influenced by other social media presences. Are you an alpha, a leader, trendsetter, a bitch, careless, a non-alpha, a follower, a sheep, one of the crowd? Do you care for someone?